was going to show you also, I subscribed to this, I uploaded all those templates, thousands of templates, or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But I told you, they weren't animated.
She thinks I'm dead. I told her to, hold on one second. Hey, girl. I brought the truck to Stotts. Got in a conversation with a guy, hurt his elbow, and then Justin came and picked me up, and now I'm at his place. So they're gonna look at it. It wasn't smoking anymore when I got there, but I don't know what is happening or what was happening. So, all right, but now I'm just into the technicalities of stuff. So, just lock them outside. All right. Love you. Bye. So I'm live on the YouTube, although it looks late.
You're live right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what is this?
See, I don't think...
Okay. The first time I did it for mine, okay, it said, would you like to do YouTube or do the Easy Webinar Go Live? And I said Easy Webinar Go Live. I cannot find that setting on yours, like where it asks.
Yeah, did it go away?
I don't know.
You know what? I'm in there. X out for just a second, or get out of that, just so we don't do things at the same time. So let me switch between. You can toggle between.
So when you're in automated, now go to event page. See there, that's where it was.
Provide video URL. No, these were the two options.
Mm-hmm. But then you had your URL stuff in here.
Mm-hmm. Event video settings.
Which you don't need. But it's like it's stuck on that.
Yeah, it's gone when we do that.
Because you don't need it. Because that's for a video, for a pre-recorded, and this is going to be a live event. But when I hit... Wait, hit save and publish.
Just in case. My mom.
See if you can hit go live.
Okay, so this was trying to do YouTube, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Change broadcast video. Provide video URL. All right, let me try to get... I'm not going to be able to watch this because this is like... See, that was you a minute ago.
Yeah, there's a delay. Hit play.
Now, are they just saying that because it's not live right now?
That's what I'm saying. Like their tool is so much easier. Just to.
If this was it, I would be all over it. That's the.
So let me just create. I'm gonna get into mine and let's see where it asks if you want to do YouTube or. Log in every time. Okay.
I wish there was somebody I could call.
So annoying. Okay. Add event. Here we go, dude. Live event. Event page. Registration page. Save. Event name. Test. Alright, dude, here we go. Ready? I just created this. I'm going to hit go live. This is where I'm trying to get to on yours. Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Because we need to click this, but it's stuck in here.
Now, when is that scheduled?
This is my aunt about my... Justin Byans. Hello? Nope. Alright, what now?
Ending broadcast.
So it says you can record it, but it won't be available until they launch their Get Recording section, which will be available soon.
Yeah, that's what I recall, that you can't.
So you're going to be able to record it, you're just not going to be able to have access if you do.
Yeah.
So
You won't have it for who knows how long. Which,
I guess, how important is that to you?
well, the thing I've got is I have.
Figure out the YouTube live.
Yeah, I have YouTube. If I can figure out how to make the window work with the.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to print screen this. And just say, we want to get back here.
How long? I mean, are they pretty quick with getting back? If I go ahead and ask him, like, go. When I click go live.
Did you watch this video?
No, that's what I probably should do. They've got a video for everything.
Yeah. I mean, he answered your question, but he didn't answer mine.
Yeah.
Because you jumped in there.
That's right.
No, actually, we kind of asked the same question. Okay, I'm going to reply again here. Jim, when we go live.
Oh wow, he made this video.
I'm gonna correlate this with Justin and Jason here. So, the two links that I believe Jason shared here was one. Let me click on this one first. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove some tabs. All right. So if I click on this one, the top one, this one goes straight to the event page, where you have at one point added in a YouTube URL. Okay, into the event at one point. Okay, so now what you're explaining to me is that you want to click on the go live and go live from Easy Webinar when you click on this green go live button. So let's go ahead and let me get into Easy Webinar itself here, and bear with me.
Okay. Look at all his usernames.
Clicked on the wrong one. Go to live. All right. So once you're ready to go live from your event, and you can only do this one time because you only have the one session, that when you originally created the event for say the 27th at 11, okay, you can only select and go live tomorrow at that date and time once, okay, and that's what I was referring to. You can only do it one time, and if you happen to have tested it, which it doesn't look like you have, based on the URLs you shared, because one URL, oh, excuse me, Okay, I'm back. My allergies are really messing with me, so I'm very sorry if I just happened to sneeze or I paused and have to come back. So anyway, the second URL takes me to the countdown page, which in 1 day, 15 hour, this is the event that you want to go live from. So when you click on this green go live button at this in 1 day and 15 hours and 35 minutes, of course you're going to want to get into this room early. How early depends on you. But when you do, you'll log into your Easy Webinar account, go to your live event. You're going to click on Go Live button.
That's the screen.
Excuse me. So yeah, you click on the green Go Live button, and then you're going to have two choices: one, stream from YouTube Live, or your second option would be to click on this green Easy Webinar and go live straight from Easy Webinar.
So regardless whether we're doing this or this, we need to start over.
But I can't.
Once you do, oh my goodness! So once you do click on this enter live room, this is where you're going to enter the green Go Live button, and or enter the live room. You're going to select your microphone, webcam, and then continue on to the event. And then this is where you'll select your session. And of course, there's probably only going to be the one session to select from, and that's the original date and time that you have everybody registered for. Okay, once you click on this green Go Live Now button right here, this is when you're going to end up using up that session and start that session right there. You can only do this one time.
I've already done it though.
Once you get in there, you're going to want to stay in there until the actual event time starts. Or once you get in there, everybody's going to go to that. Everybody that's sitting on this countdown page is going to get redirected into this live page, which it's going to replace this YouTube player right here with the stream you'll have going on from here. So it will replace itself.
You're telling me I can't get in here and test this before it's time, and if I do it, then I can only do it once? That's crazy.
That's where I was referring to back up in here, that if you were worried about it, and you did not have any attendees registered or anybody registered at the moment, you could simply just clone that event and start over. But hopefully, and I don't know the situation that you may be faced with, because I don't know what you guys have done so far. So as long as you have not used this session, the session that you have created for 1 day, 15 hour, 32 minutes, and 40 seconds from now, this session right here, as long as this session is still available to use and go live from, you could do it just as I showed, and it will replace that video. And the only way for you to know this is if you actually tested it, okay? And unfortunately, you cannot test it, because if you do test it, you will lose that session, and then those that have already registered for that session will not have a session to attend to because you used it up.
That is a horrible oversight. I should have been warned. Do not test.
Of course you want to go in there and look at it.
That's crazy. So I've got to take action now and download my email list, email them directly. The biggest problem is I'm going to get kicked back out of MailChimp. So, MailChimp, unless I do some more things, there's a very good chance I'll get spammed by a lot of my list. And they won't recognize it. So,
there's got to be a way of fixing this on
I mean, he's making it sound like...
Yeah, the reason you're seeing this is because at one point, so hopefully I made that clear, that at one point prior till now, somebody has either added a URL into here from YouTube. You either attempted to go live from YouTube Live at one point.
Yeah, that is
okay. And when you did so, you entered a YouTube URL into here, and then maybe you modified that event. Okay. So as soon as you enter in a YouTube URL into this field and click go live, you go into the live stream. Okay. And that's what impregnates or places in that YouTube URL into this page that you're seeing.
Plus people we have registered for this event will now not be able to enter the webinar with the link they possess.
Yeah, you can tell him Jason did test what YouTube Live.
Jason did test YouTube.
Because it's new. YouTube Live.
This is a pretty serious problem. How can we fix it so that all of these registrants
Or perhaps this is this was sitting on a this event was sitting on a WordPress installation through the plugin, and somebody added in the YouTube URL into the event page, and then you cloned it over to the easywebinar.live. I'm not sure the actual scenario that could have taken place. I'm just kind of grasping at straws at things that could have.
I think we have a problem. We selected go live in order to get familiar with the room and prepare for the webinar, which is tomorrow. Are you saying that the 100+ people we registered for this event will now not be able to enter the webinar with the link they possess? Live. It seems crazy that not to be able to enter prior to the event without learning the link. Oh man.
So,
There's just no way, dude. How many people have done that? I better check this out.
yeah, I gotta set it up.
And now all these people registered can't get to it? There's just no way.
They're like, well, it's in some video you didn't watch. You gotta put like, you will screw up your junk if you.
Yeah, you will waste.
So anyway, what I'm thinking, the good news is I have these registrations. I have these email addresses. I can contact them through a BCC email. I'm trying to from my personal email. And just say, hey, I had a technical hiccup. I totally messed up the webinar room. When it's time, click this link. And just put an Adobe Connect link because I know how it works.
And the subject line is
new link
for webinar.
For a fatherhood initiation webinar. And just explain, oh, I totally screwed up this new system.
And then in the Adobe, you could put a link to your event, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Adobe, I'm like, all they care about is like, it's the funnel and then the live. And it comes to actually a powerful tool to use.
It's all about basically, they're running on the principle of attendance percentages and then sales from follow-up. Mm-hmm. So with 70% of sales coming from follow-up, all this email integration and follow-up and auto.
Yeah, that's great.
All that. But as far as the actual presentation.
Yeah, Adobe Connect is far superior. live is not only wanting me to, not only do I have to buy $1,000 thing, but like the setup and the delay and all that. I mean, you can't compare with. I mean, you saw the Adobe webinar I did the other day. Like, it's simple.
Yeah, it is.
You click on it, you go in there. It is worth putting in the email, like, hey, you make sure that your flash is updated or whatever.
You probably need to send to. Yeah, I had that problem when I was going.
Send them ahead of time. I'll put that in the email.
You probably need to send one today. What time's it? Noon tomorrow? And then one at like 11.
If you BCC a bunch of emails.
Nobody can see it.
No, but like, is that a flag for spam?
100 people? We could probably find out. The other thing you could do, dude, is send 20 at a time. It's 5 emails.
Yeah.
You know, if you're worried about it. I don't know. It looks like, I just glanced, it looks like there's a mixed review on this. How to make sure a multiverse page is not marked as spam. BCC would definitely make a difference unless multiple recipients use the same mail server. So if like 50 of them are Gmail, they may catch it.
No, they won't catch it, wouldn't it? Oh.
No, they would see it. They would see them all come in at the same time because it's the same server. But I think the receiver can still tell how many people have been BCC'd and mark as spam, especially if it's over 100. You might want to spread it to say 10 to 20 addresses at a time. Yes, it will be marked as spam because it is spam. Unsolicited instead of bulky. But if you don't use MailChimp, I would just use, if you just use
my Gmail, yeah.
You probably have a better shot. I get all kinds of people coming through my email using their regular email. See Jeannie's email?
Yeah.
Whew, that's good. Good job.
Yeah. I'm only concerned of the crusader mentality of...
She's apologizing for her tone in the email.
Oh, yeah, she said to me, like, oh, tell Justin I wasn't worried. He seemed worried. I'm like, oh, she's so sweet.
Boy, I bet they didn't like seeing this email from Jeannie.
That I talked to him?
No, that Jeannie's...
Did she even include that?
Oh, good. Wilgenbush, she included. Diane Ryder, she included. Well...
That's everybody who was
in
your email.
But it looks like she took off. finally some reason in this. Oh my goodness.
Thomas really wants.
Josh is such a jerk. To use the words that were thrown at me on Saturday, this looks like a catastrophe.
Hey Thomas. I'm mostly good. How are you? Yeah. Oh, normally I was expecting that sentence to end too late. I've got two things. One, I was unable to get the recording of the last webinar into an MP4, and therefore I really can't make this last system that work. So let's just email out. And if you could, just email out like to anybody who's registered for one of these webinars, like, did you miss the webinar from Fraternus? You know, here's a recording. I'll send you the link to the recording. I've already made it public and everything. No, it'll be a different link than what you had before. Each new one. It's not like, so there's a link to that room that's forever and for always. To quote a Shania Twain song from around 2012. And then, nope, 2010, sorry. And then there's, no, 2006 or so. Yeah, 2006. Sorry, I was thinking of anyway, that's a universal forever and always link, but then the recordings are different links subsequent after that. Each different recording. So there's that. The second thing is, I had your same concern. You know, Brenna and Catherine said that they would send content for this week, but I don't know if they will or not. Okay. Well, hopefully you're a good guy, and Justin and Josh are just the darkness of Satan. So, yeah, that would be helpful. So, yeah, just try to find out. I'm going to send another text for, like, are we good for content this week? You know, there's a disruption in Emma or whatever. You know, can you just send to me? I'll make sure it goes out. They're traveling and stuff, and they were late before when they weren't traveling. So, you know, one of the big things I told, Jeannie, and her main concern is just please make sure I'm ready for our meetings. So, I have 2 people so far that are interested in content. They can't do it right now, but, or like this week. So, that's like our top priority for these ladies is making sure that we have that. Prepared. So I guess keep attentive to that. If we need to prepare something, we need to know that so that, we've got tomorrow and Friday. No, if you already have, keep following up. Yeah, well, when you get, follow about that and make sure that, just ask about the content for this week. So, and anyway, just making sure that's on your radar, first thing. Cool. Are you on the schedule? I called Josh the other day, and he was writing one, and I was like, "Good job, Thomas." People on the queue. Are you using the same spreadsheet? Am I on there? Do I need to look in there? Okay. Okay. Yeah, you got. I mean, there's lots of folks we can get in the rotation. It's really good when they. In fact, like, I was just thinking, that guy that made the video from talk he made. Gosh, what's his name? Ryan? Is it Ryan something? Yeah, I saw an article by him. It was really good, and I thought, man, he's a captain. Like, he might be someone to say. Would you be interested in being in the rotation? But Terry told me, he was like, did you watch that video? And sadly, I had not. And he was like, do me a favor, watch it, and call him with like an attaboy. Because apparently he worked really, really hard on it, and it's really important to him. And actually, Terry says it's really, really good. So, we're not asking anybody to faint. No. Is it good? Okay. Okay. Well, after this week, everything seems dramatic to me. So, well, you might want to reach out with him, and if you have seen the video, just say that was really great and powerful. If you don't have to say it was overly powerful, but I guess like a lot of his heart was wrapped in that. So, as an act of love, just everybody needs an affirmation. Yeah, he's registered. He's got to be a captain, so I'm sure he's in Kindful. Just look for that video. It was mentioned in there. But ask him to be on the rotation, because I saw an article he wrote on like EWTN or something. And I was like, man, that's cool. It was good. Justin's an okay one. So you can just all these people. If you put their names in a Google Doc, they're not gonna. I put it in my calendar every week to remind the person who it was that week. Because unless you say it's due this week, people are like, oh, whatever. Even the most organized of people. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, cool. Yeah, well, it's easy enough. That's the thing. They're totally exaggerating what it takes. I mean, I know it's like it's constant, but it's not like. Well, it needs to be within. I mean, I tell them you need to read the lesson, watch the video clip, and I think most of the video clips this year have like why this was chosen. Um, and no, we don't. We want you to connect. The way I always explain it is like, look, there's a virtue for the night, that you need to make sure you're emphasizing, and then, but the lesson has that, the faithful man is humble. So you need to like connect. The king's message is primarily kind of bringing these things that might look separated and kind of bringing them into a whole in the present, the quick presentation. So no, I mean, I don't want people trying to wait till they're inspired. I mean, they need to have the objective task of trying to use their gifts and their intellect to connect to these things, in a well presented format. I do always tell people, and you might want to say this, like, I don't ask permission to edit. Like, for example, Rob, I would delete just left and right entire paragraphs because there was like paragraphs where there was no need for paragraphs. So, and especially because a lot of people are, Mark Twain has a saying where he said one time, "I'm sorry I wrote you a long letter. I didn't have time to write you a short one." That when we write things in a hurry, they tend to be too long, and we should cut them down. I think that was Mark Twain. Yep, I'll take it.
Sounds good.
So yeah, you have permission. We're the editors. You have full authority to edit, and rarely, I've never had anyone care. Yeah, there's always confusion about that. Yeah, just tell them 3 or 4 3 or 4 paragraphs that explain that give some background of this topic. That if somebody was going into a discussion, they've got some more, meat ready. Not that they presented it, but that the presentation gave like the bare bones, and then the squad time commentary is like making sure that they have the meat if they run into, like I think about and this is from experience of talking with young men. Like they might, you got to think kind of in the mind of young men. If you say, God's will is all good. Okay, what about evil things? Giving them a little bit. Not that they're going to solve the problem of evil right then and there, but giving them at least some and giving them language to articulate these things, because a lot of them, they might in a sense believe orthodox, but then when they say it, it sounds stupid and hallmarky, so if you can give them the language of it's a mystery. I don't presume to know the exact answer, but I do know that God is able, if he's able to draw good out of the death of his son, somehow he's able to draw good out of these bad things, even if he doesn't, it's not his positive will to enact evil on people. So that's no hallmarky. Well, it's just everything works out in the end, guys. And other terrible lies like that. So yeah, so give a lot of just give that, and you're gonna have to repeat yourself, because people, especially if they're not in the fraternist ecosystem, because they're gonna, like, Rob Sims was the worst with that. I mean, he would just go to town. So he wasn't the worst. No, I'm sorry, he was not the worst. But sometimes it would be like, man, you don't go to frat night. No, it wasn't the worst. So I don't know who the worst was. I'm not gonna rate people for you, Thomas. All right, I'm gonna run. I was just calling you those things. Cool. Thanks, man. All right. See you. Bye. I got a good relationship building with Thomas, by the way. He was like, "Can I just say I really appreciate all the time you take to like talk through these things with me and stuff." Like, I'm glad you feel that way, because
when he started, you were on sabbatical, so
yeah, I think
he's experienced the opposite.
I think a lot. Yeah, a lot's changed in certain forms.
Yeah, this isn't good. So he's gonna ask the development team if they can reset it.
Oh, for my personal one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Because does he see that this is?
Yeah. So I guess
I'm gonna take other action. I mean, I feel like I can't. I got 24 hours before this thing, and they can't fix it, and I can't get live right, and I can't get my PowerPoint. I've missed a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
Even if I lose half of them because they can't figure out the Adobe thing or doesn't get to them, it'd be better than having 40% show up, 50%, half of 60% show up, whatever, and not have. Plus, if I do it in Adobe, I'll have a recording.
Can you cancel all the reminder emails that you've set up?
I need to go see if I can actually say in the reminder emails, don't click the links in these. I've got pretty good control of those, right?
Well, you can actually put new. Actually, couldn't you just
create new?
You could just edit the emails that are going out.
Yeah,
and it's done.
I'm gonna try that first.
Most people probably use the most recent link that was sent to them anyway. I do. When I'm getting reminded of a webinar, whenever the last email I got, I just click on the link.
Yeah.
So, well, hi. What are you doing? Whoa!
Whoa.
Both your forks dropped.
I like to use my fingers with salads anyway.
This
Man!
This one hurts. I don't know what you eat on salads, but I know he doesn't eat cucumbers, so. Icy smoothie.
Yeah, see, we're in a bit of a catch-22 because it's kefir's the fastest growing dairy product there is, but there's still some education. That's why Katie's like, so this is our current.
Because I use yogurt, but that's because that's the only thing I know to use.
So we put kefir,
nice.
and then we put yogurt smoothie for like people who are like key what? And then
you're seeing it a lot more.
And then real fruit. Yeah, I went in the store. There was like 3 new varieties. Although this is
Go. You're like coughing.
But she's thinking like the strawberry is the problem right now. We can't find. We also have to use like
the ingredient is the problem.
Yeah, like we have to use aseptic fruit prep because people say they want real food, but they don't. They want the package and they know what it's going to be and they know what it's going to taste like. They don't want any variety. They don't want any. Yeah. People, the real food movement is mostly bumper stickers. When it comes to your actual consumer, when you come to your actual consumer, they're just not interested. So to be able to we have to sweeten it. We have to have like natural flavors, and then we can have real fruit and stuff. But like to get a consistent product is that makes sense. That's the dilemma. So Katie's like, don't put any ingredients. Just give this as an ingredient. It's just that. How often do people buy an ingredient? But she's like, I don't know. Our family drinks a smoothie about every day, but that's because we have basically yogurt.
Yeah, because I just get our yogurt from our food truck that comes.
Yeah.
But I end up adding milk because it's too thick for the blender. So if they sold kefir, I guess I wouldn't.
Especially if it was.
I never thought to use that instead because it's more liquid, so it wouldn't be. It's difficult to make the smoothie.
It's thick. I mean, it's like cream. It'd be like adding cream.
But the yogurt won't. Like I have to add milk to make the blender like move.
Yeah, so instead of having yogurt and milk, you can
just use the kefir because it would probably be fine.
Yeah, and it gives a really good tang and like you can make. I mean, there's whole websites like stuff you make with kefir. I mean, it's a good base. But if people are, the smoothie thing is the most.
Simplify your smoothie.
Yeah.
So basically what she's saying is like, I got to use yogurt and milk and flavor.
That's solving her problem. I think most people, another big thing is probiotics. Like your smoothie needs probiotics. Here you go.
Well, you probably need to say why. Well, do normal people not put yogurt in there? Is it higher in probiotics than yogurt? Or is it like the same thing?
Mine will be higher. The store yogurt, what they do to make it is they give just enough cultures to call it yogurt legally, and then they add thickeners to make it seem. So the thickeners. So mine will be actually real. It'll be like a lot more like cultures. Yeah, the dairy industry is like a big charade. It's like they do just enough to like whole milk has just enough fat in it to be whole milk, but it's really not that.
The kids don't even when we forget to stop it. Whatchamacallit.
And it's Sunday. We have to buy regular milk.
Our kids won't. They don't.
This is like white chalk
it's
water.
It's white. Why is it white? It's not like yellowish.
The funny thing that's for our kids is like when you hear warm milk now, you think like that's not good. But like for them, our kids, it's a delicacy because whenever I come in from milking every day, John's fresh. Like, "Give me my hot milk." Because it's sweeter right out of the cow. After it cools, it loses a little sweetness, but it's really sweet. So they that's a delicacy to them.
If our kids, if their milk turns like warm at the table, like they won't.
I know most people. That's why it's funny that they have the perception that that 90-degree milk is like good. So it's just because I still remember. Oh, that's Thomas again. Yeah, I still remember it's like. If it's warm, it's nasty, but store milk it is. So you would buy that, Angela. Man, look at that.
So where are you looking at? If you did the flavor, you're looking at like frozen strawberries. Or are you trying to get just local?
I'm having to buy what's called. I can't buy local fruit. See, this is again. People are like, "Oh, that'd be great," but it's like, I would have to buy bulk strawberries, have them stored all year. And then have them processed at a certified kitchen. And then they're going to taste different each batch. So what I have to buy is called aseptic fruit prep, which is aseptic just means it's been there's no bacteria in it. Because if it's a real food like a cultured drink and you add a new bacteria, it'll change the flavor of the drink. So because the bacteria becomes active. So we have to buy aseptic fruit prep, which is fruit basically pureed in a sterile environment, and then they add sweeteners. And he's so funny. I was talking to this guy. He's like, oh, yeah, all these people, they're sweetening it with other things now besides sugar. So then the people say no sugar added. And he's like, but there's sweetener in it. I mean, fruit's a sugar.
Sure.
And he's like, people say, I don't want sugar, and I don't want processed food, and I want local, and I want... He's like, no, they don't. Because they don't buy it.
Well, I don't buy anything flavored. So, like, because I always do our own.
If it said real fruit, live culture. Well, you see, this is not for anyone with a family. Because this was for the single serving. 12 ounce, like, in the coffee shop meal.
When you say flavored,
I buy plain.
You buy plain yogurt.
Because I make our own. And then, I buy just plain, and then we add honey. I don't buy...
That's delicious.
I don't buy vanilla. I don't buy strawberry. I mean, we just buy plain. And
I mean, for us, we make the yogurt, obviously, and then we add frozen strawberries. That's our primary sweetener. Frozen bananas. So when the bananas, they go on sale because they're turning brown, they're still white on the inside. We buy them, like 20 bags of them and freeze them, peel them and freeze them. And then that's our smoothie. But then if we don't, we'll just have yogurt and honey. I mean, that's delicious. So how do you not make yours... The yogurt is what's making yours thick, not something frozen.
Well, I mean, it has frozen. The bananas weren't frozen because our bananas aren't ripe enough to freeze. But usually it's all frozen fruit. But this has regular bananas, and then it has frozen strawberries and some frozen blueberries.
And there's yogurt in here.
And then yogurt.
Does this have
and kale. Yeah, there's kale in it.
I just think as many people that are making smoothies these days, and the probiotic, the thing I could give that all the ingredients can't give is the high quality probiotics, which, I mean, we could advertise, it helps with, eczema, helps with allergies, it's right up there. People are beginning to know it intuitively as, like, when you're like, I got allergies, oh, you need some raw honey, everyone that's, like, in the, probiotics are coming into that age where you just trust it. And the great thing about yogurt is people trust it, even if they're like anti-dairy. They still trust yogurt. But this is like a whole... The problem is we've built everything we're thinking about on like this, and now it's like Katie's like, why don't you just simplify it and just make it an ingredient? Because you can make salad dressing.
Can do both.
We could do both, yeah. Well, she's saying go ahead and start selling the ingredient one while we figure out the ingredient stuff. So...
Where are you trying to sell it in shops or from your house?
In shops mostly, wholesale.
But it is a new concept.
Yeah, it'll be
so there's an education barrier there.
Yeah. So we've thought of ads. Like I've seen them scrolling through. It's like 70% of your health is your gut health, and like it's some kind of probiotic or something.
Because basically, if you went that route, it wouldn't be necessarily something you would drink.
Not a grab and go drink it. It would be an ingredient, which is like a whole nother... Very few people just drink kefir straight up.
I mean, would any restaurants be interested